Welcome, Vnetwork Radio listeners. Welcome to another edition of Music Entertainment Industry Talk with your host, Don Paget. Hey, got a wonderful program for you this evening. We actually sit back, make sure you share the broadcast, tell a friend, tell neighbors, tell a relative that we are on. And we're going to bring our special guest, Mr. James Bell, all the way from Texas, and yeah, he's from the group God's Chozen, and we're here, and we're so greatly appreciate him being here on today. Make sure you share the broadcast, tell friends and neighbors that we're on. And without further ado, we're gonna bring in Mr. James Bell. All right, how you doing, Mr. Bell?
Hey, God bless you, Pastor. How you doing there, man? You got everything good?
I'm doing good. Yes, it's an awesome opportunity, and we have so many of our friends out there that's chiming in already on the chat room. And we want to thank all of our viewers for tuning in. We've got stellar nominees right here on the V Network Radio. Yes. Man, it's just a pleasure having you. You guys are doing so much in the gospel music industry, and we want to make sure that everybody knows that we've got stellar nominees right here on live with us on today. And just talk about the group and what you guys have successfully done.
Well, there has been a lot that's been going on. Just to get a general start with me, my name is James Bell. Some call me the General. Uh, I've been doing gospel music for my 36th birthday. It'll be 20 years I've been in the gospel industry.
Mm-hmm.
I've met a lot of people. I've been a lot of different places. I've been with a couple of groups throughout my journey. And I'm telling you, the guys God's chosen, they are a very exciting, mature, and seasoned group. It's not a group full of young people. I know some of y'all looking at me like, man, why would you hook up with a group of old people? Well, at the end of the day, when you have a group that's mature, you don't have to worry about any competition. You don't have to worry about people disliking each other. In the end of the day, the guys, they're not about any of the accolades. They really just about bringing souls to Christ. And I know that's a cliche that a lot of groups have said, even, mainstream artists, but at the end of the day, I can tell you for a fact, this group is all about the ministry. And that's why I love being a part of the group Chozen.
Yes, and you guys have projects out, and tell us about your projects. And I just want to say this: I love the cover that you guys have. And because you can do so much with these on your cover, and
Right.
and I like the latest one that you just sent me, the Stellar Award nominated, God's Chosen final ballot nominee. Yes. I love that right there so much, and it's great. You tell us about your project that you have.
Well, with the project, first, big shout out to Brandon Roberts, background vocalist of Maurice Jensen One Accord. He did that photo shoot as well as the graphic arts. So I just want to give a shout out to him. Yes, Brandon is very gifted. Brandon also does videos. He can shoot your video as well. He can do, the video side of your live recording. So if anybody out there, Brandon Roberts, thank you, sir. Big shout out to you and Maurice Jensen One Accord. With the project. We do have an EP that's circulating right now titled Testimony. It has songs like Sign Me Up, Working Miracles, and Come See About Me. And right now, Working Miracles is doing well for God's Chosen. When we put it out there, we really wasn't looking for the excitement and notoriety that we're really getting from that. The song Sign Me Up was the song that was actually nominated for the Stellar, so we're really excited about what that EP is just doing. We're currently working on a project. We're in between if we want to release a studio or we want to do a live recording. So we're gonna get the exclusive on a live recording. When we ready to do it, I'm gonna let you know all about it before it hit anywhere else.
Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Johnny Ruffin Jr., who is out there, and he's out in the TV land watching, and we want to give a shout out to him. Thank you.
Johnny, listen, Johnny Ruffin. It's funny you
Uh,
said that. That is our producer and engineer
all
for
right.
our project. Everything that we're doing right now is going through Johnny. And I've been
Uh,
knowing Johnny since I was 18 years old, and I'm 35 now. So
wow.
I have a very long track record with Johnny. Johnny is awesome at everything he does. And I'm not just saying this on Facebook, but I've been telling him for years that I hate his guts because he's just so good at everything that he do. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to my big bro Johnny. Love you, man.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, awesome, awesome. And tell us, how did it happen that you guys become nominees for the Stella Awards? With all the big names that's out there, you guys, were able to, your music, of course, have been played all over the world. But how did this happen to become a nominee for the Stella Awards?
Well, we've been working with a gentleman by the name of Justin Luster. And
Hmm.
Justin Luster is the lead singer of the Humble Sons. And
Hmm.
he also has his own record label, Approved Music Group.
Right.
So we've been working with Justin, and Justin, happened to just, call me up and say, hey, Bill, look, I've been doing some investigation, and you guys meet the criteria of the Stella. He's like, I'm gonna put you guys in, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, go ahead on and do what you got to do. I mean,
Right.
it's thousands of groups out there, thousands of groups out there. So we weren't even looking to even make it off the first ballot. First a SACMA member. We didn't. What is a SACMA member? We didn't even know what that was. So trying to find people to solicit for SACMA members to vote, because that's the first round. You can't even get off the first round ballot if you don't get enough SACMA members to even vote for you. So
Mhm.
when the ballot came out for the public round, I'm just gonna be honest. I wasn't even expecting for I need to be up there. Cause I'm like, don't nobody really know us. We pushing, to get radio play. We pushing the same in different areas that we never been in. So I really wasn't even looking for that. And I happened to be on the phone with my lead singer, Marquis Frederick of God's Chozen, and I just happened to look at the ballot. I'm like, man, look, we made it to the public round. He was like, man, stop playing, man. We ain't making no public. So I had to take a screenshot.
Uh,
Pastor, I had to send it to him to prove that I won't lying. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So,
yeah,
and at that point, we just began to see God really elevate the ministry, with the support, with the backing, down here, in Virginia, we have the Virginia Airs, we have Maurice Yancey and Wanacor. Those guys have really been a great impact to the industry. Then you got quiet, little small secrets like, Johnny Ruffin Jr. that has been working behind the scenes with major groups and don't nobody even know. So
right.
when you have all of that, and then you have the backing of the Virginia Airs, or the backing of Pastor Yancey, or the backing of, Johnny Ruffin, they saying, yeah, man, you can do it. That just gave us more push. So, we solicited. I mean, you saw it. You had a post for us. Like every day we were posting up, vote, 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 vote. So when the final ballot came out, you know, we were looking for like, okay, Spencer Taylor gonna be there, Bishop Darrell gonna be there. We already know that's what's gonna happen. The fact that we didn't make it, we were still excited that
Oh,
we at least made it on a public ballot.
yeah,
So
that's the main key. A lot of people think that because they don't get the award, because it's the main thing that you become a nominee. You know what I'm saying? Your name was on that ballot, and that goes down in history in the gospel music industry. You
right,
guys go down in history, man. And I'm telling you, it's so great. That we've got artists, especially young artists like you guys, to be able to, be nominees of the Stella Awards. And I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. You see what I'm saying? This is just the beginning. What's next to come, I'm telling you, is going to be great for you guys. And I
man.
know that your project is definitely going to go all over the world. And I'm telling you, it's so great. to know that you guys are doing it up in especially quartet. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um, tell us about your music is the style of music is like a traditional contemporary with a contemporary twist feel. Do you think that with the upcoming projects with you guys that you'll be doing something more catered to the mainstream, more contemporary, type of music?
Yes, we actually have a few songs now that's more geared to your contemporary side, if you can say that.
Hmm.
We have another song that we're working on now called Another Chance, and Another Chance really has like I wouldn't call it like a neo soul feel, but
All right.
it definitely has that feel
Yeah.
of a smooth jazz R&B sound. You know,
Okay.
so it definitely takes away from the, walk around heaven or heavenly choir
Yeah.
sound.
The
It kind of
traditional.
gives
Yeah. The
you
traditional.
something.
Yeah.
There you go. It
Quartet.
gives you something a little bit more moderate. So we're working on stuff like that. We definitely want to stay true to who we are as an artist. I explained to you again, the group that we have are more seasoned guys. So, we try to stay within that parameter to where we don't want to leave the saints out.
Right.
We because the saints don't know nothing about a lot of internet. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a different kind of saint to know how to download a digital track.
You're right.
And go ahead.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that too, in the gospel music industry. And I just want to touch on that subject before. Just don't let me forget when it comes down to it. Because I mean, when you interviewing a stellar nominee, it's like, oh man. So, because I want to get everything in the short amount of time that we have.
Right.
And go ahead with what you were saying.
That a lot of times the younger artist forgets that the older generation don't know how to do some of the things that we know how to do.
Hmm.
The hard copies still exist. They may not be as prevalent, but hard copies do exist. 'Cause when you go to a lot of programs,
Yeah.
9 out of 10, you got more seasoned saints in the audience than you do young people.
Hmm.
So they're typically gonna go to your table and say, "Hey, I like that working miracles. Can I get it? Yes, ma'am. You sure can. For you, it's gonna be $9.99, but for anybody else, it's gonna be $10. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Right.
but but young people, you just say, yeah, go to Amazon, or go to Google Play, or go to iTunes, and most of the time they only download just that particular song. So,
Right.
we try to stay in a place to where we cater to
I like that.
everybody and just don't try to block out, one generation. So that's where we are.
I like that. Hey, I want to give a shout out to all of our fans, that's all of our listeners and our family that's listening out here. We got Arthur Dowdell, and I want to thank Arthur Dowdell. He's up in Syracuse, New York. If you want a gospel group, we got God's Chosen here. Come up
Hey,
to Syracuse, New York. I mean, we've traveled along with Art Dowdell all over the place. Thank you for tuning in. We got Rayvon Royal is watching. Thank you again, once again, Johnny Ruffin. We've got so many. There's two. James Earl Williams. Greetings from Alabama. All right,
hey,
Alabama is in the house.
hey.
All right, Johnny Ruffin Jr. and yeah, so many are chiming in uh, on the chat room on tonight. And Marquise Fredericks.
That's
Uh,
my lead
uh,
singer, Mauritius.
yeah. All right. And so many Tanya Howard is out there and
Hey,
just
Miss Howard, how you doing?
so many are just saying and just loving your music that's in the chat room. It's so many names I can't call them all, but thank you all. Tell us, you said that you're gonna come out with a new project. Yeah, and I don't want to forget about this. That is a great point what you said, and I just want to tell all of our artists: listen, don't depend on digital downloads. Because
Correct.
so many. I had a phone call with the artist, well-known artist, he didn't have no CDs. He did a concert, and he's telling people to go out to digital downloads, go to get his music. And it's like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You losing out on revenue. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When it comes down to your ministry and being out there, listen, order today. By the time you guys get the concert series, you will have a whole stock full of 100 to 300, 500. Don't order 100 because the 100 go by like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Do not depend on sales from digital downloads. Also make sure you go to your distributor and get your music on CD copies. Now that's the key right there. A lot of people might not think that's not the key, but that is the key to getting your music out. Especially people wanting hard copies of the group. You know what I'm saying? Because those hard copies last for years and years and years. You see what I'm saying? And so that's important right there. Great tip. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, Mr. Bell. Do you guys think that with this COVID-19, you guys thinking about doing a live performance coming up, a video project?
We've been thinking. The pandemic has really allowed us, to get a lot of stuff done that we were normally able to do throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to go in the studio with Johnny, we was able to add like 2 to 3 more tracks to what we already had. And then as the year progressed, we had a conversation about, what, man, we think live would be good. It's because the lift is getting ready to come up in some areas. People been in the house for so long. We're not even charging for people to come to the live. It's going to be a free event. The church that we're using. Big shout outs to Pastor Rodney, the Man Mills from Virginia Airs. He's actually going to let us do our live recording at his church, Solid Rock Ministry. So and that building is he's still going by the CDC guidelines. So it's going to be like 80 people that can get in there, which is fine. We're not really looking for the spectators anyway. We're looking for the people to come in that really want something for God and that's going to really bring an atmosphere that's conducive to save souls. So that's what we're looking for. So we're looking at right now, possibly June of year 22 is when we're looking to do our live. We've been singing. As you know, once the Stellar stuff came out, we've been getting quite a few phone calls. We're actually going to be on the Waiting Praise convertible down with our good Jason down there. That's coming up in September.
Right.
We're going to be at the Approved Convention with Justin Luster. That's in August. And we're going to be with Devon Womack for his Gospel Premier Awards, which we've been nominated in 2 categories for that award, and that's in October.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm so glad that you are part of Vnetwork Radio family, of course. And I'm telling you, because I'm right along with you. You know what I'm saying? When I see those posts out there of God's Chozen, I'm like, yes. Go Vnetwork Radio fam. And just want to say this is one of the reasons why we were nominated for the Newsome Awards coming up in August 7th. So we'll be down in Baltimore, Maryland, receiving that award for all of the Vnetwork Radio family. You see what I'm saying? And it's so great because when we feature you guys' music, when it comes out, we featuring your music and we continue adding your music to rotation, and people calling in, requesting your music. That's what it's all about. You see what I'm saying? To push our Vnetwork Radio artists like never before. Just want to say we have Andre Riddick is in the house, Mike Myers, Nancy Parham, and so many others are tuning in tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all very much.
Yeah. So tell us what's next for you guys. We talk about the new awards that you guys are now being nominees for, and also you're coming out with new projects. Anything else in the works that we should know about?
He is. We're scheduled to go to Esther Wooten in March
Okay.
down there. Esther Wooten has brought back her showcase, so we're scheduled to do that. And a little birdie, kind of gave me a little hint that Dr. Jones is getting ready to come back out with a show. So
Hmm.
got a phone call from a good friend of mine, Chuck Spearman, and we was talking about potentially getting ready for the Dr. Jones show. So that's
All
really
right.
exciting as well. So that's hey, be on the lookout. Be on that. We got a new single that's getting ready to drop, but I'm gonna make sure you get that exclusive before everybody else get it. I
All
promise you
right,
that.
so we can
Yes,
premiere
sir.
it. Yes, yes,
Yes,
great,
sir.
wonderful. Hey, we want to give another shout out to John Tay Ruffin, who is always there to push gospel music. John Tay Ruffin, thank you so much for especially all the Ruffins. Oh man, these guys are awesome. Doing their thing in the gospel music industry.
John Tay is actually um, working with us on getting our music out to all the radio angels. We were blessed and fortunate enough with John T that he was able to put us on two compilation CDs, which is doing very well. One of them was with the legendary Spencer Taylor and his inauguration, and then he had another CD that came out, and he added us to that CD as well. So because of John T, and we got another person out there by the name of Natasha Wilson down in Alabama. She's
Okay.
really been working with Daryl J on helping getting our music out down there. So big shout out to both of them that's really working behind the scenes on God's Chosen. We love y'all and we thank y'all for y'all push.
Well, that's great, awesome, because they're part of Vnetwork Radio family also. So we're all in the family, and that's what one of the things I love about the Vnetwork family is that it goes all the way out international, that we could all get together. And I look forward, especially when I'm at concerts, I look forward to seeing all of our artists uh, come back doing the things that they normally have been doing before the pandemic.
Right.
Um, and and tell us something. During this pandemic, well, a lot of artists, and especially a lot of young artists, they just sit back and relax. And I see you guys, doing. On a constant basis, on every day, you guys are posting every single day. You guys are letting fans know what you're doing every single day. Tell us, what was it like for you during this pandemic? And I'm naming and claiming that this thing is over with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Pandemic, like I was stating earlier, gave us an opportunity to get some things done. It was a little different when you go from singing, sometimes 4 to 5 times a month to singing nowhere. So what we had to do was we had to figure out, okay, what's more important? Do we want to just sit back and just chill out like everybody else, or do we want to work on the infrastructure of our group, which is the business? And a lot of people think that going out and singing that's what gets you booked, or with a lot of these promotions and stuff. That's only like maybe 20% of it. The rest of it is all business. Because if you ain't got your business together, if you got drama with inside your group, or you got a bad social media presence out there, it's hard to get booked anywhere. So what we decided to do was to take the time to work on a project, get a couple of more songs on that, figure out what our direction was going to be. And on top of, working on a project, this Stella thing came along while we was working on a project. So then we had to shift gears from, okay, we got to kind of put a hold on this, because now we need all our attention on the Stella stuff. Meanwhile, everything's opening up, so we get ready to start singing again, on top of working with the Stella, and on top of going to the studio with Johnny. So now we trying to get all of this done all at the same time. So, for a lot of people, I'm sorry that, the pandemic brought, loss of loved ones, and,
Yeah.
jobs was gone, and some people had repossessions, and my heart goes out to those, and I pray that God restore 100-fold, but the pandemic wasn't bad for everybody, and I can say for God's chosen that we really gained from the pandemic. There wasn't any loss that we gained, but it was definitely a gain for us to be able to sit back and work on the business side of the group.
Yeah, and that's great. I love your information that just don't concentrate on just singing. You got to concentrate on your business, getting your business right. I understand that, and so many in the gospel music industry, they just think if I can go from church to church singing, it's gonna do me good. You know what I'm saying? But you've got to get your business straight. Hey, if you want to hit that mainstream, if you want to be Stellar Award nominees, your business must be straight. And thank you so much for that. Tell us, we like to give tips in about studio tips. What was it like for you guys to go into the studio to record?
Well, first up, anybody that knows Johnny Ruffin, it's very intimidating to go in Johnny's studio. I mean, he makes it fun and it's a laid back environment. But listen, if something ain't sweet, Johnny go say, "Lil James, can you call me?" Like, "Lil James, come here. That ain't sweet. Y'all need to go back and get it right now." So I mean, and how can you tell a man that writes music, that can arrange music, that can compose music, and can play every instrument, and can sing every part, and can do a lead? What you gonna tell him? Yeah, you're right, Johnny. Let me shut my mouth and go back in there and get no more. So, I mean, and again, I've been working with Johnny since I was 18 years old. So, I mean, I watched Johnny's studio go, from being a little itty bitty baby to now maturing to a grown man. So having that work ethic with Johnny, knowing what Johnny like, what he don't like, that's an advantage of mine. So these guys, you said something about earlier about how they started. These guys came from being a male chorus. Believe it or not, they all left their church, being a male chorus at church, and they said, "Look, we just gonna step out and we gonna try this thing," and a few years later, I was getting ready to go to basic training AIT, and I called the manager and said, "Hey, I'm ready to leave for 4 months. Let me do one more program, get out my system before I gotta go and do all these push-ups and run all over the place." So they let me come, and then after I came back from basic training AIT, that's what I went with was God's Chosen. Then we began to come out of the mindset of a male chorus and start transforming into what we call a gospel quartet.
All right.
So we are right now. You're seeing the transformation. We just came out as a butterfly, if I can say that, into this thing that we call the gospel industry. So, that's where the guys came from. That's how they started. And this is where we are now.
Good. Hey, want to congratulate you, in your going back to school and getting and get your degree.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so congratulations. I saw it out there. I follow all my artists, and I said, wow. Yeah, and business too, business degree.
Yes,
wow.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
awesome.
Sir.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Doing a great job, and I'm telling you, it's definitely needed. For our young people, to go back to school, get their degrees, and I want to applaud you for going back to school. And I know it's kind of rough, and sometimes it get tough, but congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Pastor. Yes, sir.
All right. And anything that you would like to say to our fans out there? We've got a lot of our listeners and viewers there at the concert, and a lot of them watching the Mayweather fight. They already called me, say, "I'm watching Mayweather fight." I'll catch the live later, but I think Mayweather gonna take it. I don't know. Yeah, I think he's gonna take it back. somebody said, "Oh, he washed up." I don't think
I
so.
don't know.
Yeah,
Hey, I don't know. He still look fit to be washed up.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens and go from there. Anything else you would like to say to all of our family and friends? And I just want to say, Revon, Royal, Nancy Parham is out there watching. So many I just love it when so many people post the chats and the questions in the chat room. Thank you so much, all of our fans. Would you like to address them for final?
Rayvon Royal is one of our background singers. He's
All
actually a
right.
top singer.
All right,
Nancy
we want to give a shout out to all the group, all of our God's chosen group. You know, I'm part of the group too, so I just want to make sure. I just want to give a shout out to all of our group members. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Nancy P is actually my mother in the industry. She has a segment called Nancy P Word on Street. So
Okay.
anything pertaining to like programs, black entrepreneurs, that's the lady to go to. Like she can really get the word out there for you. And I'm pretty sure she had a lot to do with a lot of people chiming in because she has a lot of followers on her broadcast, which is Word on the Street. So
Okay. Great.
yeah, Mama, she's really good. I want to thank everybody that really, chimed in because, once we got the flyer, we got everything rolling. This was only a day or two of promotion. So to get everybody that's on here tonight, I really appreciate it. God's chosen. We love everybody. We're not a selfish group. We're willing to lend a helping hand to anybody. It's never any big eyes or big U's. But at the end of the day, and God's chosen, everybody's family. That's our motto. Everybody's family. If you're part of God's chosen, everybody's family. And we try to stay true to that because, now everybody has came to a place where it's all about I. And there's no more what they say is a village. It takes a village to raise a child. That doesn't even exist anymore. I can remember back in the day when I got a beating by my best friend mama, and she told my mama that she had to beat me. When I got home, I got another beating because her thing was, well, you should have never got a beating in the first place, so I'm gonna beat you just because you got a beating. So and now it's not any of that. We're not taking the group by the hand to help them fix their issues, but instead we go in the bathroom and we laugh and we mock at them and we talk about them. But when are we going to stand up and say, "Hey man, look, I like what you got. I see what you're trying to do, but listen, maybe you need to work on this a little bit more. Maybe y'all need to tighten up on the band." And that way, you're showing some type of unity in the gospel industry, and that's what we're missing. We're missing the unified part of the gospel industry, and I believe that if everybody had that mindset, that the gospel industry will be way better what it is. So I applaud all the young groups that are coming up. You said something that was very profound earlier. You said that the change has came for the Stellar Ballad. We used to the Harvey Watkins. We used to the Lee Williams and the Bishop Reverend Facts. We look for them to be up there, but I believe that there is a shift that has came, that God has now opened up the door for new wine to come in, because you can't put new wine to old wine skins. So we got to have some new skins in order for new wine to come in. So that's just how I feel about it. I know there's many people that's going to say something negative about that, but at the end of the day, there has to be a shift to bring in a new atmosphere in the quartet genre. And that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. And one of the things I love what you said is that coming together, that togetherness and in numbers. Just think about it. If God's Chosen has got 1 million views, another group got 1 million views. All these artists, 1 million views each. Gospel group, thousands, 100,000 views, 200,000 views. Just think about if we would all just come together and say, "Hey, listen, let's get all of our fans together and support one another in the gospel music industry." Mainstream, they'll be coming running and after our music. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us running, to them saying, "Oh, could we get a little airplay?" You know what I'm saying? Can we get this or can we get that? You know, with all of our fans in quartet gospel industry and the gospel music industry, you know what I'm saying, and quartet music especially, we man, we could take over, you know, this mainstream. You know, here's the thing. I look at a lot of contemporary artists. You see what I'm saying? They come over into the quartet genre and sample off the quartet. They take a little drive and come and take a little portion of the quartet drive and put it into a choir. You know what I'm saying? And then they're already mainstream. You know what I'm saying? And so what we've got to do, we've got to get that mindset to say, hey, listen, let's gather up all of our entities and say, hey, you know, radio, television entities all over our gospel quartet music industry and say, listen, let's put our resources together and work together so that we can take over that mainstream market and, you know, get our music out there on mainstream, you know, you know, it will happen. Stop hating. That's the main thing. Stop hating and let's work together in the gospel
That's
music industry.
good. And see, you know,
Yeah.
if you know, I remember when I was playing with a group by the name of Phase Two a while ago, and we wanted to get on the spotlight. This was when Mike Chandler from 100.9 down in Virginia, when he was doing Rejoice Music, they were on the spotlight segment. And you know, at that point, it was a certain amount to get on the spotlight segment. So I had people to call the radio station and request one of our songs, and they kept getting with, we don't have that song, we don't have the song. Who was that? They're like, it's a Hampton Roads, like y'all don't have their song. And I had the same 10 people call every single day.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then after a while, Mike Chandler reached out and, hey, these people are calling in for this song. I don't have y'all music. Can you please send me you guys music? You know,
Yeah.
and for like the next, I think it was like 6 months, I had those same 10 people that when the request lines open up, call and request a song, call and request a song. And just think about it. If each group had a million followers,
Man.
and they just start calling all of these mainstream radio stations,
Yeah.
and say, hey, you know, I want Minister Donna Paget and his song. Well, we don't have it. Man, listen, y'all need to tighten up. Next thing you know, they reaching out to you and say, hey, we need your music because people call it and we don't have it. That's when you start taking over the mainstream by, you know, by having your supporters do their part, which is supporting you. You know, and that's why we thank the people that we have, because people don't have to support you. You know, but when they see something in you, when they know that you're really living what you're saying, that's where the support comes in at. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm grateful to everybody that's out there. I'm grateful to your platform, Pastor, and all that you do. You promote everybody. Now, one time, I don't ever see you promote everybody, and that means a lot coming from, you know, somebody like you. Because if we had more people like you, you know, then the industry will begin to evolve. Because the industry, as we know it, is now social media. It's not, you know, inside radio station, get on the microphone and have an interview no more. This is what the new music industry has went to. So,
That's right.
so that's why I brought up that point about the hard copies. You know, you gotta have hard copies. You can't leave out the saints that don't know how to get on a laptop or a desktop. They gotta be able to have the same music that everybody else has. So I applaud you, sir, and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much, and thank all of our fans out there. Hey, great interview, man. I'm looking forward to more from you guys, and I'm going to be pushing you guys, you know, of course, and we'll be chatting back and forth, and you telling us what you're doing and what we're doing here at the Vnetwork Radio, and make sure, you know, I just want to say that all of our music has gone out, and we've got a lot of listeners in Australia and Brazil, believe it or not, in the gospel music industry. So many, you know, I looked at the numbers. I'm like, wow, what's going on here in Australia and Brazil. So all your music is going out all over the world. You see what I'm saying? Uganda, Africa, Nigeria, everywhere. Your music is going out all over. And I want to thank also, we're streaming live on HOD Radio World Network. Want to thank Mr. Danielle in Nigeria. Thank you so much. We are streaming live in Canada on tonight. And so thank you so much for all of our streaming platforms, WNET Radio, Vnetwork Radio, HOD Radio World Network, and Doc World's network. Radio network is also, which is so many BDS stations that are connected with the Vnetwork Radio. Thank you. And we're going to continue playing your music. And God bless you. God bless you. And before we go, I just want to make this announcement happening. And I know we want to definitely come back out on the 14th. We've got Mr. Johnny Ruffin Jr. will be in the house. I want all the fans out there to support Mr. Johnny Ruffin Jr. We got a lot to talk about with all the artists producing and engineering music. And I'm telling you, it's going to be great. And that's going to take place on June 14th, Monday, June 14th. And we got another group. I just want to make this announcement. Another group called Covenant. Yes, Covenant. So this is definitely a young group. We want to make sure we come back out on the 13th to support them. And I tell you, and we got so many different artists coming in. Yeah, just stay tuned to the Vnetwork Radio, and we'll present all those flyers. Hey, thank you, Mr. Bell, and especially say hello to all the group members. Make sure, I wish I had them all. We're going to do this again. Have them when they come back. And we're going to have them come on, and I want to hear from them also. All right?
Yes, sir. I will definitely make sure that everybody's available. You just let me know what availability you got, and I'll schedule it for you.
Let's make it happen. Yeah, definitely, man. Yes, all right. And so many, thank you, Nancy Parham. It's a pleasure meeting you, and I love to speak with you, and so many others there that's in the chat room. Thank you, and God bless you. See you all. God bless. All right.